I'm the group. We're collaborating.
And he's happy now. You see that? Smiling. Okay, it's a weight. The competitiveness is this fucking weight, and it sucks you dry. It sucks the fucking life out of you. Okay? It's like you're trying to get this energy and get this result. It's sucking you dry. So you let it off and collaborate. Do you remember how whenever we do stuff within the herd, when we all do it at the same time, it's easy? Do you guys remember that? How do we get to that point where it's easy to communicate like that, but by yourself?
Hold on to that feeling.
Exactly. You hold on to that. It's a change in belief about yourself, who you are, and how you relate to your environment. So rather, like if we say, I am the group, say it right now, everybody. I am the group. 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 Now say it. I'm the group.
I am the group.
Say it.
I'm the group.
Say it.
I am the group.
Say it.
I'm the group.
Say it.
I am the group.
Let me tell you something. If you don't say it collaboratively, everybody's gonna think bad of you. Everybody's gonna think that you fucking suck. And you will ruin the vibe that everybody was created. And you will be alone, isolated, and destroyed. Okay, now say I'm the group.
I am the group.
What's happening?
I felt off.
Really? Do you feel that?
Yeah. Weird stuff.
But let me ask you something. Are you gonna be destroyed?
I'll be okay.
It's true, isn't it? If you go out and a couple girls reject you, are you gonna be destroyed?
I'll be fine.
You actually will. Because if you combine all the rejections of everybody in this audience, I probably have 20 times more from my years of going out. Do you think they've hurt me or helped me? They've hurt in every way possible. Like little knives in me, little knives. Okay. You guys ever see me do skits like that in free tour? I'm like little knife, then I roll around on the ground. Just made that up. I was so proud of myself when I did that. So if you're in the group, if you have a frame that you're here to collaborate or create an energy together, then what happens is your frame is I'm here to share. It's a sharing frame. So when I go into a free tour as an example, say I've got a couple hundred people there, I have two different mindsets that I can come in with. One mindset that I can come in with is like, okay, they're all here to judge me. I'm being judged. And if I feel like I'm being judged, my energy is trapped up in my fucking head and I'm trying to give a concept and I can't think of what to say. And then I can't think of what to say, so the crowd gives me this dumbfounded look. And then the dumbfounded look makes me nervous. And now am I in an upward spiral or downward spiral? Who here's ever been out at a night in a club where it starts to go bad and you're trapped in a downward spiral and you go home dejected out of your fucking mind? Really? You there, really? Okay, so what's happening is that we have to get into an upward spiral, right? And so what happens is that when you're collaborating, when you're not in a competitive energy, but you're in a collaborative energy, what happens is you go into an upward spiral. Because that same power in your voice of, hey, when everybody's yelling, you'll have that when not everybody's yelling. You'll have it solo, by yourself, because it feels the same. What it also does is gets rid of a lot of this fucking heavy fucking ego that guys have. And you know, some people will say, you need ego, a healthy ego. And I'm not taking away from that. I'm not like, trying to get you to, become the Buddha or some shit, okay? But you could kind of get a little slice of the Buddha if you like. And the slice of it is basically getting out of this competitiveness and coming from a place of offering. See, what used to drive me when I was younger was I was like, I will run, hey, you don't sit, you will listen. I will run the best pickup company of any pickup company ever, right? And then I'm like nervous all the time, stressed. I'm struggling through videos and shit. As I get older, I'm like, hey, there's a lot of guys that are trying to learn this stuff. I've gone out a lot of years and I want to share that information. So if I'm the group, then what benefits the group benefits myself. Likewise, when I go to a club, I spend a lot of years socializing. I've got a great free energy. I am the club. I am the club. I'm going to give great energy. I am the club. The great energy is already there. You're just obscuring it. When you look at him, do you believe that there's just as much great energy in him as what is in me? You guys are like, no. But seriously, serious question. Honest question. No bullshit question. Is there just as much great energy innately in him as in me? So is it that I have more energy Or is it that through what I've learned and sharing here, I've learned not to obscure it? It's in you already, okay? It's in you already. But the question is, are you obscuring it? And is it called obfuscation or something? I don't know. I'm using these big words today. Okay. I don't know what's going on with me. Okay. I got to get back on books, not audiobooks maybe, but okay. So if you obscure the energy, the energy is there. Your default state is happiness, but you'll obscure it chasing these fucking phantoms, thinking if I just got these shoes, or if I just got this house, or whatever it is, then you're chasing phantoms. You're thinking you'll be happy, but what it really gives you is like a dopamine spike, essentially, right? You ever buy something new, you get kind of this dopamine spike off it, and it's not real present energy. On the other hand, you can still own a lot of nice things, but when you're coming from a present space and you share, what winds up happening is you go into like this almost like law of abundance, where you're sharing, and because what you're doing is so fucking good, you wind up getting paid more. Or you're sharing your energy at the club, and what you're doing is so fucking good, you get laid more. So ironically, even though you're doing it just to share, you get laid more. Ironically, even though you're working to share, you get so good at what you're doing that you get paid more. And then you wind up with all this fucking stuff and girls and all this crazy shit happens. Now, some people can get too woo-woo with it. They're like, if I just stroke my energy all day long, I'll fucking get like all this shit, right? And it's bullshit. It's like there's a combination between hard work, disciplined action, self-reflection, and continually improving, right? And that's the hustle. And hustle is real, and this game is real, son. You know, it's like that's the hustle. But there's also the other side of it, of the space it's coming from and what's driving it. Do you want to have unlimited energy behind your hustle, or do you want it to be this kind of sucking energy that you get something you want, it goes good, then it goes bad, and then you're pissed, and your head is being thrown around. So what I'm passionate about this, like some guys will look at me, right? Like guys that make a lot of cash or fuck a lot of girls, or some guys will look at me who have the desire to make a lot of cash or the desire to fuck a lot of girls, and they'll say shit like, you know, Owen's like talking about just like give value. I don't give a fuck about that. I care about pussy and my money, son. My pussy and my money. I'm like, how much pussy are you getting and how much money do you have? That's the funny thing. They're like, I'm about this. Well, okay, but how's that working out for you? It's like guys that will say to me like, you know what I'm about? Closing sales. You know, and I'm like, well, how's that working out for you? You're the cheesy guy just going up to people trying to get something out of them and you're getting rejected. So even when we talk about these happy concepts like, I'm the group. I ain't the group. Not me. I'm the pimp. You know, like all this shit. The solo pimp man, you know, like whatever the fuck. But it doesn't work. It's not, it can work. Look, any action works, okay? Because most people, they're not taking any action at all. But where we're coming from here, there's when coupled with massive action and building of skills, it can be incredibly effective. So who's going to be more effective? Think about it. The guy who goes in the club with the perfect technique, but coming from this competitive frame, and then his energy is limited and he's stifled down. He executes the techniques, he's executing the techniques, but the energy's off. Or a guy who's maybe a little bit sloppier in his game, but the energy's great. Well, when you're seeing what kind of energy is grabbing your attention while you're watching the seminar, take note of that, because that's what the girls are feeling. So you don't have to have perfect game, but it's the underlying frame, okay? So what we'll do right now is we're gonna get you guys to get up, and I want you to fucking scream in each other's face first. Fuck you. I don't know, not fuck you. How about fudge you? Whatever you choose. Okay? How about just like, you know, not even fuck you. How about this? I'm the fucking man. I'm fucking better than you. You can suck my fucking dick. I'm fucking better than you. I'm amazing. I'm awesome. First you're gonna do that. And then what we're gonna do is you're gonna just do, we're awesome. We're the fucking shit. We're gonna share. We're gonna have an awesome time. We're in the same group. We are the same, okay? And just see how it feels differently. And I want you to notice the energy in you, okay? Hop up and do it now. I just want you to physically feel it. Hop up. Up we get. Sustainable. You'll feed on it. It's not this exhausting, even if it looks dumb, which I get. But you see my point. Collaborative. What mindset, up until today, were you going into these clubs with, for being honest?
First one.
right? It's hard not to think like that. Do you know who conditioned you? Yeah, me against the world. Me against the world, right? Weird side note about energy. Dark energy like that, it actually can work. Guys like Tupac had a lot of energy. I got to be honest with you, right? He did. But something that one of my great coaches and mentors taught me is that whenever you have dark energy like that, there's a bill to be paid at the end. So you might rise for a while, but then there's a bill to pay at the end. So look at the movie these are just movies, but just to think about it. Who here has seen Casino? So you remember, it's like that dark energy. Yeah, but what happens at the end? Like that, right? Or the movie Blow, or the movie Scarface, or Wolf of Wall Street is hysterical. I mean, these are great shit shows to watch, but you don't want the ending to be your life, right? Like Boogie Nights, hysterical, but it's a shit show. Even a great one, and these are like guys I grew up idolizing, is NWA. Who here saw that movie? Yeah. Straight Outta Compton, right? It's amazing, right? But what happened at the end? Do you want to be that at the end, right? So what you'll find is that in the same way that forceful, combative, competitive energy, it actually can give you power. Did you get force out of it? When you're like, I'm the best. There's force, right? But you might not be getting power. There's a great book called Power versus Force by, I think it's David R. Hawkins. And the first 3 chapters is all about this like arm test that they do, and like he like puts the arm and like makes you tell the truth, and if you're telling the truth it'll hold, and like if you tell a lie it like goes down, and it's like I think it's like 3 chapters on this, right? This is the unfortunate part about some of these more woo-woo books, right? You're kind of reading it, you're like, okay, I did the audiobook of it, which I thought was great, but you're like, okay, but starting around the 4th chapter, it gets hot. And the first 3 chapters, he does make some points worth reading. And basically what he says is that power, it's like, think of it like, this is how I like to describe it. Think of it like you have a sailboat, and you've got a sail, and you've got the oars. Force is the fucking oars. Maybe sometimes you need some fucking force, okay? Maybe that can come up. And it's a short burst of energy that has eventually the bill to be paid, which is it depletes you at the end. If you get flooded with this kind of low vibrational force, some people might call it negative energy. I don't know if you call it that. Is any energy really negative, or is it just different? I don't know. Okay, wish I could tell you. I don't know. Some people would say that it's not that it's positive or negative. It's just different. But some people would think of this like negative energy, and it could be a way of putting it. And so, that negative energy of beat people, competitiveness, that kind of thing, it can carry you, that force, but there's a bill to be paid. And a guy like Tupac, I'm just guessing here. I don't fucking know. It could just be a coincidence, but he really fed in a lot of ways off of that from what I've seen. Even though I actually idolize the guy in a lot of ways. Like he's amazing, I idolize him as a communicator and whatnot, and what he could bring through him. So sort of like Eazy-E, one of my great role models as well, as bizarre as that sounds. And yet, he had pros and cons, right? He's a man. We're all men, right? And so you can bring that through you. But what's the payoff? When they got that much low vibrational energy, or whatever you'd want to call it, what's the payoff? Is their lives. Then again, there's perfectly innocent people that have died too. So I don't know if that analogy truly holds or not. It's getting a little bit into pseudoscience, if we're being honest. But it's a way that I personally like to think about it. So essentially, when you're using the oars frantically, it can get you from point A to point B, but there's a depletion at the end. Versus when you're coming from power, that's like you just throw up the sail and you let the wind carry you. You still have to engage with it. You still have to turn the rudder, don't you? You can't just sit there. You still turn the rudder. You still stay focused on where you're going. But there's a power that's there. Whenever I'm going to come up and public speak for many hours, what's weird is you might find that I'm getting more energy from it rather than less. What's going on there? Essentially, it's like I'm still steering the rudder as I'm talking to you guys. Do you guys see that? I'm still continually steering the rudder. But I just want to let the energy come up. I'm here collaborating with you guys. I am you. You're me. We're collaborating together. I recognize that we're in different bodies, but we're coming together in a collaborative energy. And what happens is that my energy goes up and up and up and up. My biggest challenge with teaching programs like the boot camps that I teach at nighttime is I can't sleep after. I'm so wide awake. I'm smiling. I'm happy. I'm so buzzed that I don't want to go to bed. And I have to make myself go to bed and train myself to do that. So I had such fun the other night. I got kept awake until 10 or 11 in the morning, actually, that I could normally shut it off, but I struggled to shut it off. It's that fun for me. And the reason that it's so fun, you want to know the 3 secrets to it? There's 3 major fatigues that get you, okay? The first one is decision-making fatigue. Should I or shouldn't I? Watch this. You walk up to a girl. Should I do it? Should I not? Should I do it? Should I not? Is that burning energy?
Yeah.
What if you just went, fuck it, just go say hi? Who cares? Nothing that bad will happen. The second one is persona fatigue. You're putting on this fucking song and dance. You're trying to force it by being someone other than yourself. And it's exhausting. Who here's ever been playing a persona on a pickup for hours and you're exhausted at the end? Who here's experienced that? The last one is self-judgment fatigue. After it all doesn't work, then you start judging yourself. So I'm always trading guys. I say to guys, when I see you in an interaction with a girl, particularly on the first night of a boot camp, I say on the first night, I'm not looking as much at how you are in your interaction. I want to see how you look when you get out of your interaction. When you come out of your interaction, are you like, meh, that sucked? And I quiz you, right? I go, how was that? And of course you're going to answer straight, because it's kind of a trick question. So you're like, oh, it didn't go good? And I go, no. Who the fuck would have the balls to do what you just did? How many guys sober would do what you just did? You also gained momentum. And I want to train your mind to find something funny about it. So I train guys, when they go into an interaction, go in, and when you come out, I want to see you smiling. I want your selective focus to attune on something funny about that interaction, and I want you to view it like 1,000 out of 10. Why do I say like 100 out of 10 or 1,000 out of 10? It's an irrational number. It's kind of irrational to say that went well when it didn't. And yet, if you view it that it went well, what happens to your mood? If you look for something funny about it and you view it like it went well, what happens to your mood?
It goes up.
It goes up. And then what happens the next set? So I don't give a fuck about your little Mr. Spock logic. I care about the next fucking set kicking ass. But objectively, it didn't go good. Objectively! Well, what did go good about it? You went in. It's kind of funny. You express yourself. Look, if you got two kids, one's retarded, one's not, do you love them both the same? One approach is retarded, one's not. You love them both the same. It's your action. And when it's your action that you love, now you've taken the power, now what you've done is you've taken the force off of the girl and just her acknowledging you for giving approval, and you said that my own action itself is where I get my joy. And maybe you got blown out the last set. Ooh, it's bad and wrong. But the next one, because you're in a better mood, you get her. Or maybe the next, or the next, or the next. So your night is going up and up and up. Again, what are the 3 fatigues that we remove? Critical here. 3 fatigues that we remove. What's the first? Decision-making fatigue. Remove it. Just open for 2 seconds, for God's sake. Second fatigue. Persona. Okay? It depletes you. See how here today we're focusing on the power in our communication? The persona is actually what depletes it. It's so crazy. That's why I say get in your lane. Do you remember I said earlier, get in your lane? If you're right in your lane without persona, there's your power. And the last one, what is it? The last fatigue. Self-judgment. So if you get rid of self-judgment and you view them all as good, now what's happening? With each open that you do, you're gaining energy off it because you're taking action. It's fun. Every interaction, you're being yourself, so it's not depleting you that way. And then after every interaction, you're viewing it as good, so your mood's going up. And what I basically do is I just go from girl to girl, even mixed groups of guys and girls, whoever, and I'm having fun with everybody. And now I'm the cool guy in the club who's just having fucking fun doing what he wants to do. Instead of the guy wandering around the fucking club trying to get approval. You ever been the guy wandering around the club trying to get approval? Yeah. What happens to that as far as upward spirals or downward spirals? It's a downward fucking spiral. So I'm trying to tweak you here, okay? I'm trying to wake you up and get you out of that and tweak you. What I want to do next, though, and this is an interesting one. So let's look. What we're going to do is we're going to look at the principles we covered, and then we'll go to the next one. The first principle was what? Clarity of what? Clarity of intent. The second one was what? Free association. It's entitlement. Free association is the catalyst. I'm getting very nerdy here. Okay. The principle. Okay. The first one was clarity of intent. What's the catalyst? The catalyst is learning how to talk without filter. The second one was entitlement, which means that you can talk without any judgment of yourself, essentially. What was the catalyst? Uncoupling. We uncouple it, right? Uncouple the emotions from the content. The third one was what? What's the third principle? Strength of reality. How strong is your reality? What's the catalyst for that? Collaboration. You don't need to beat. You collaborate. You guys follow this? Okay? The next principle that I want to teach you is principle of presence. Okay, and what presence means is that you're not in the future, you're not in the past, you're right here. You embrace the present moment. And what that does is it really gets you to your core of who you are, and it gets it to where you can respond to situations almost seamlessly. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna go into a meditative state. Who here's ever tried meditation before? Okay, now when you meditate, do you sit there for 20 minutes in pure presence every time? What happens during meditation? You start thinking, right? So what I want you to do here is I want you to go into a meditative state in a group of 2, 3 if the groups are filled up. But from there, what you're gonna do is when a word comes up, you're just gonna say it. When a word comes up, you're gonna say it. When a thought comes up, you'll say the word. There's 2 rules. One is don't associate off the environment, and the other is don't associate off the previous word. Let me explain. Don't go ceiling, floor, chair, Tyler, light, chair. Like, don't do that. That's my 3-year-old does that, okay? And he's pretty good at it. He's like, Daddy, right? Okay? Don't do what my 3-year-old does. Number 2, don't associate off the previous word like red, blue, green, yellow, black. Again, my 3-year-old does it, okay? If you do that, do you go, oh, I fucked up,
No, you're not in the present moment.
You know, you're judging yourself. Just like when you meditate, if you think, you don't go, I fucked up. You just let it go. If you make that little error, just keep going. Now, I'll do it now. Watch. Go into present state, whatever thought comes up. Hot. Sky. Sandwich. Jet. Cat. Nikki Taylor, a model from the 90s apparently. Beach. Car. Hunting. Jackrabbit. So I associate a bit, fuck it. Jet stream. Relax. Epic. Okay, what am I doing? Why did those words come out in that order? I just relax in my mind, let it come up. It's like the magic 8-ball exercise. You know, you shake the magic 8-ball, see what comes up? Here's why I'm teaching this to you. The first exercise that I taught is to be a powerful communicator. The second one that I taught is to create a dynamic between you and the woman where you can kind of just say what you want and she sees that you're the high status male. The third one I taught to give you a massive amount of power so you're not having approach anxiety anymore and you can be collaborative. You see that? This one here, I want you to imagine that you're lying maybe in maybe you're sitting in a restaurant with a girl who you pulled. Or maybe you're lying in bed with a girl who you haven't had sex with yet, but you're chatting. Or maybe you're just chatting in the club. And you're kind of just free and just letting the words come up. This is one of the things that I treasure about game and even about pulling. It's actually one of my favorite parts. For a lot of guys, their favorite part is the sex. And I love having sex, but let's be honest, if it's a random girl, you're using a condom. So actually, I love the whole process. You guys see that? When you really enjoy the whole process of game, that's a beautiful thing. You're gonna crush. So I enjoy the whole process. I enjoy having sex with a girl with a condom at the end of the night. It's nice, it's novel, but really I love the whole process. So one of the things I love is just like sitting with a girl at a restaurant and just free associating. Just like it's almost like a moment where the woman's purpose for you right there is to help you to let go. Do you see that? She's actually helping you to let go, not to be so stifled and up and just let go. And then in sex, she helps you to let go. So she actually helps you to let go in a lot of ways, right? My old girlfriend, when we fucked a lot of times, she'd just be like, baby, just like when I'm about to come, she'd be like, just let it go, baby. Just let it go, baby. And I'd be like, okay, you know, and I just come, right? It would trigger me a lot. But that same let it go, do that even leading up to the sex. Just let it go. So when I sit here, right now I'm not letting go because I'm going through, I got the rudder going, right? But now I'm just gonna let go of the rudder completely. Total freedom, okay? Socks, green, capitalism, sucky wucky in the mucky, hot air balloons in the sea. What the fuck is happening here? Where's this coming from? Just let it go. And what happens is you get conversational with the girl and you just chill with her and she gets in this very free state with you, and then when you go to escalate sexually, it's very natural, okay? Natural. Sometimes I've had students on boot camp that pull with me, and we wind up like in a hotel, and they're like him with one girl in one room, and I'm in one bed, and I'm in like another bed with a girl, and they just see me free associating, and students are like, it felt like a dance. They're like, I couldn't stop listening to it. It's just like this, it's like beautiful, you know, it's like kind of crazy. I wish I could record it, but I'm not allowed to. But, you know, because you're in a private room, but you see the point. So just let it be free, okay? So you're gonna sit down in a group of 2, still your mind, and then just let whatever wants to come up, come up. No judgment, no thought, just let it come up. Quick question?
Do you keep your eyes open
I like to do open, but it's your decision.
So
Okay.
each person like we taking turns or
Take turns, exactly. Have a seat. Let's go. Does your mind feel? Do you feel indifferent and still right now? Or is there like an outcome? Like I've got to get a certain thing.
Right now, I'm trying.
Try to not even look chill. Just be chill. Like right now, am I chill with you? I don't need to make like this chill face.
Yeah.
I could just be chill. Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. That's good. You're doing good.
I think I'm good. I'm feeling happy. Happiness is coming out of me a little bit. Like I feel like I'm not worried about anything.
Yeah. Because it's collaborative.
Yeah, it's collaborative.
See how it builds on itself?
Yeah.
The collaborativeness facilitates
It's like he's my
an
friend
easiness
now.
of communication.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's very seductive when you're in bed with a girl. Because you're
We're
like,
on the same team.
exactly. And then you're really on the same
Each
team.
other.
And then you're really in each other. Then she's in your head and you're in her head or whatever you call it. So just when you're doing it, you don't even need to make like a chill face. Just
I was just meditating. And
Okay.
Just thinking of words as soon as he came up with the next one. I was just
Okay.
associate something. Yeah, that's all we were doing.
So are we supposed to be thinking, or are we supposed to just
let it come up. I want you to imagine you're in bed with a chick and it's just coming up.
Okay.
See how just like even as I say that I start laughing?
Yeah, that's cool. Turtles.
sand,
Ducks.
clouds?
Sky.
And there's no pressure, by the way. It's like you take as much time as you want.
Sword,
Cows.
moon,
Grazing.
stars.
See, that's good. See, and see how you fucked up, but you laughed and you're okay with it.
Yeah.
That's key too. It's like you don't want to have tension. You want a relaxedness
course.
in the communication. Okay.
Girls.
Documentaries.
Look up. Maintain eye contact.
Oh, it's my turn? Okay. Yeah.
Batting averages.
Eyes. Red. Lost.
Okay, now as you're doing it, you don't even need, see how right now you're keeping kind of a still face? Look at me. See, you're not even ready to break it. Good, you can smile. You're allowed to smile. See, do you see that tension you're holding there?
Yeah.
So you could be chill, but you're just like, red. You know, just talk like normally, like how you talk, but just whatever. Okay? You're trying to be chill again. I saw it. See? Loud. Let it out. The point of this is to let it out.
Black. Green. Space. Sand.
Let it out.
Ocean.
Let it out.
Sky.
Let it out. Let it.
Blue.
So the distinction that we made here was that I noticed that a lot of you guys would be like, trying to be like Eckhart Tolle or something, like the red, the cat, the grass, right? And you're like doing that. So that's cool because you're learning how to like let your mind relax. It's interesting, right? So when I do a free tour, for example, like I go up and I literally have to loosen my mind and just let whatever comes up, comes up. Could you imagine doing like a 2-hour talk for a couple hundred people with nothing prepared? To be fair, I probably have like, things that I've said before. So it's not, I wouldn't quite call it nothing, but it's unstructured. And what I literally have to do is train myself to just, it's almost like you're taking a shit and most people are like, yeah, yeah, and they're clenching their asshole. And basically, social conditioning is so fucked up that it trained a generation of men to walk around with their fucking asshole clenched and walk through like 90 years of life like this. That's like most people, 90 years of life like this. Stop and think about that for a second. That is so fucked. And that's the modern state of humanity. Walking around like that. It works for the system, but it maybe doesn't work for you. So what I would ask you is, can you let go? Can you relax? When it's time to relax, can you relax? Drugs are so fucking popular because people can't even let their fucking mind relax. The first time they can let their fucking mind relax is when they get high. They can't even have that experience on their own, but it can be achieved. So you can relax, you can free associate. The way to do the exercise best is actually just to look how you'd naturally look and just let it out. And that way, if you're just having conversation, you just let it out. Do you see how I can take a pause here and come back into my own energy? And then I can talk again? When I take the pause, does it draw you in more, or does it make you tune out? We call that a vacuum. You see that? That's called a vacuum. The pause paradoxically, you would think that you lose the girl, but you actually get her more. And what most guys are doing, you'd almost call it like a proactive, or what most guys are doing is like, it's like reactive. It's like, if you just talk enough, if you just say enough stuff, the girl's gonna stay, she's gonna stay, she's gonna stay. Keep her there, this thing, this thing, this thing, this thing, blah, 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 right? And they're in this frenetic, erratic, antsy energy. But ironically, when you stay within your own energy, even if you take a pause, oftentimes the girl will want to qualify herself to you. It's actually a trigger of self-qualification. What happens is that you're affecting the dynamic between you and the woman. So even though there's less stimulus, it's tilting the dynamic that you're that high status man. You catching this? So when I'm getting you to still your mind, I'm trying to allow you to be able to pause and just say what comes up as you please. Bring that camera here, I'm gonna show you this. Put it on my face, okay? Just like walk right up in my face. So it's like, you can sit there, and when you pause, you're not losing anything. You're paradoxically, in some ways, gaining. It's like you let go to gain, even though you would feel that you lose. It's like when you compete, that competitive frame. Remember earlier we talked about being too competitive? And when you let go of being competitive, you'd think that you lose your status. But when you let go of being competitive, you actually gain. You catch that? Is it trippy? It's funny how that works. Because the status dynamic, as I'm sitting here taking my time and my energy, it's actually a moment to share my energy with you. But you're paying just as much attention as what I'm hammering you with stimulation that I'm right up here from the front. I'm hitting you with stuff. But look at your attention span. Look at the energy and where it's flowing. So I can do the pause. And even though it's not reacting to needing your attention, it's proactively holding it there. So when you go on the girl, hey, see those little movements in my eyes? What's your name? And that can be even 100 times more effective than fucking getting in there. But it can be fun to get in there too. Sometimes I'll both, hey, come here, girl. That's a good dog. You know, shit like that, right? Get your little ass over here now. Hey, we have both. Do you see that? We have both. You could go in either direction in the interaction. It's where it comes from, right? So sometimes speaking quickly, it can come from a space of reactiveness, frenetic energy, erraticness, and desperation. Other times speaking quickly can be to share something in a way that keeps everybody captivated and it spikes the energy in a positive and collaborative way. So, you know, if somebody starts speaking quickly, are they getting pumped up? Are they raising the energy for everybody? Yeah. Or are they doing it because they're trying to make a point and they're trying to get it out? Where's it coming from? So you got to be aware of that. You can speak quickly if you want. I speak quickly all the time in my events if I'm urgently trying to share some great info. And it's not going to hurt my status. But I can also do events where I could just sit there and chill. And people would say, what did you think of that event? And you'd be like, that guy's really relaxed. I felt good after it. Maybe you wouldn't get as much information, but you'd see more about status dynamics and how to carry yourself. And the way that you do the pause, follow me here. This is critical. You gotta be aware of this. One way is you're antsy and then you go and you do a pause. You see that? That doesn't create a vacuum. When you're in your own energy, you're relaxing and you're sharing that energy.
I can feel it.
Can you feel it? And just me smiling, now you start to smile. So I could have said the perfect thing to make you smile, like, the dick is caught in the chicken joke. Or I can just share the energy. And that's why a vacuum is beautiful. Because it triggers the girl to want your approval because she loves your energy. Okay? But it's a tricky one because it's a nuanced point because it depends where it's coming from. And, you know, I could imagine that, you know, if you teach this, some guys just like, you know, walk up to me on the street like, hey, Owen. You know, that'll be my new life. Right? Like all these guys, I'm like, like this, right? And I'm like, why are they doing that? I'm like, oh, that video I released like last year, damn it. So.
You're talking about the point of interaction when you guys start vibing with the girl or whatever, then like, it's just like, I don't know, it's a cool moment. I think I know.
Well, what it is that you're in your energy, so you're not really wanting anything from her, and so energy is emanating out, rather than a pause where you're trying to get her to react, and she can feel the difference. Yeah.
I was just gonna say that like I've done like stand up like twice, and one of the things they told me is like slow down your set. People will listen to you more, and it's not like the only time I've heard that either. It's like so like when you slow down your set, people pay more attention to what you have to say, and people get like the information a lot better.
They can, and here's the thing though. See, some people will say, be sharp as a tack, get out the information. Others will say, take your time to listen more. I like both. I don't want to be stuck on either. I want to be able to speak quickly, get to the fucking point, hammer shit out, offer information, blow your fucking mind. But other times I want to relax you and get you to focus. When I walk up to a girl, I might hammer her with emotions, or I might dial it back and keep it simple. And I can do entire pickups like that where I would just be chill, calm, and then she's qualifying herself to me. Let's go deeper on strength of reality. What we're gonna do right now is I want you to get accustomed to speaking even when other people are trying to break your reality. So what I wanna do right now is actually get you to start talking about some of the lessons that you got here today. Literally just start naming them out. And then what you're gonna do is as you're naming them out, 3 of your buddies are gonna give you complete shit. They're gonna make your life fucking hell. Do you remember when we did the exercise? Remind me your name again. Chris. Again, do it. Chris. 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 Okay. Chris. Okay. So remember we've been doing that today? Talking about social pressure? We're gonna ratchet that up even worse. Okay? What we're gonna do now is get in Chris's face and be like, you're short. You're wearing glasses. Look at that crossed arms. That's bullshit. Like we're gonna hit him. Not hit him, but you know, hit him. So what we're gonna do is in your groups for about a minute a pop, you're gonna say what you've been learning. For you guys at boot camp, say what you've been learning on boot camp. And then your partners, what they're gonna do is they're gonna hammer you. Now, a couple of rules. Don't touch any orifice, okay? If it's an orifice, don't touch it, okay? No ears, nose, eyes. Don't be poking a guy in there, you know, anywhere else you can think of like that. Likewise, don't damage their clothing permanently. Like, don't be like, ha, dump mustard all over you. Ha, don't react. Don't do that, okay? And don't hurt him. And so if I see a guy with like, you know, getting his eyeballs gouged out while being kicked with the mustard dumped on him, that's not what we're going for here. But short of that, go fucking crazy. And what I'd say to you is, are you helping your buddy by not putting pressure on him? Fuck no. You're gonna have so much shit thrown out at you when you're out there. Fuck all that. It's better to put the pressure on hard. So if I see a guy's being lifted up in the air, tilted upside down, yelled at, tickled, like anything like that, get him, okay? So I'm gonna get you guys to start this, and you're all not gonna do it hard enough. You'll be like, hey, you have a red shirt, huh? Yeah, it's red. Okay, fuck that. Get him. Okay, go all out. I want to see fucking mayhem in here, okay? What I want to do is I want to give you the experience of social pressure, ratchet it up so high that you felt that in you so intensely that it's virtually nothing whatever you'd encounter out there, okay? So I want you to have the actual trigger point right in that sweet spot so that you're used to holding your ground and just pushing forward. Now, even as they're doing it to you, what are some things that we taught you here today? Look at what we taught you here today. How to use your voice. Hey, you can still stay in that lane. The free association, loose talking. We taught you that. The underlying frame of collaboration. Hey, it's just an exercise. Who cares if they're doing that? It's just an exercise for all of us anyway, right? So use those things that we taught you today, put them together, and just bam, 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 bam. I learned this, I learned this, I learned this, I learned this. Stay in your lane, amplify, and instead of them pushing the energy on you, push the energy back on them, okay? So again, we're doing this not because when you go out, you're gonna have like 4 grown men fucking screaming at you. We're doing it so that whatever environment you go into, you can see the sweet spot of what it takes to hold right in your zone. Okay, everybody up. How did you guys enjoy being under that kind of social pressure?
It was amazing. I found myself losing my friend real quick.
But the tickling thing, that's kind of hard.
Okay, now, do we see where the tools that we learned today come into play? So what we're doing is we're stress testing the lessons that we got today, because what we did today was we installed the tools that you need, and then from there we're stress testing it. So what do we talk about? This is about more than just game. This is actually about walking out of here at the cause and not the effect. So again, hey, Owen, group, bitches. Okay, so you do that very well. So you see what's going on here, right? So again, we're stress testing it. Now what I want you to do, I want you to imagine that you knew for a fact that you would die in a car accident tonight. How much would you go all fucking out if you knew that this was like some crazy experience that you're gonna have before you're dead? How much would you fucking go? You'd have no ego invested in it. You would just fucking do it, okay? What we're gonna do is we're gonna go even fucking crazier right now. Because what's gonna happen, that's right, what's gonna happen is we're gonna clear the chairs out and we're gonna get in a circle where everybody's fucking yelling at you while you give your lessons, okay? Everybody's gonna be fucking yelling at you while you give the fucking lesson. So I'm gonna ratchet up the fucking social pressure so high that parts of your brain are gonna be shutting down, and I need you to use the tools that we've been hitting today so that you don't get at the effect and you are at the cause, okay? Up now, move the chairs off to the side. Yeah, do you remember I told you this to start today? I was like, this is gonna get pretty crazy. Okay, now are you seeing the principles here? There's principles which we're trying to catalyze to create change in you, okay? We're trying to plant seeds in you that can get you into an upward spiral. Now, there's so much social conditioning, so many fears that we have, like these crazy fucking fears that we're trying to push through here today. And can you see why these, like that force that we're looking at just now, can you see how a subtle, much less dramatic, much more unnoticeable, but subtle and continual and systemic pressure is being put on you like that all the time in day-to-day life? Yeah. Can you see what I'm saying? So the goal here was to try to crack that, okay? Is to try to crack that. We want to send you out of here with a transformation. And what that means is, I want you to understand how to communicate, free associate, create humor, talk off the top of your head, be free, flow, walk through the world with ease. Fundamentally, I want you walking out of here at the cause and not the effect. So that is why we're hammering you with this. Now, you've seen a lot of hidden camera footage today, and you've watched the different guys, myself and other instructors, doing these full pickups, and this here is providing a context for the type of mentality or sweet spot that these guys that you're watching, these instructors and myself, are in. So when you're seeing us going up to a girl and shaking hands and chatting, and you're thinking, where's that sweet spot that they're in that allows that to work for them? We've been trying to show you where those are. Ability to communicate, get into the head, relax, associate, lead, be at the cause, not the effect, no concern of social pressure. Essentially what you call a fucking alpha male. What you guys are getting a taste of is the mindset, the feeling, and the type of existence of an alpha male. And you're seeing where those triggers are. You're also getting a taste of the pressure that is shutting you down. And rather than it being unnoticeable, what we're doing is drawing your attention to it in a very over-the-top, kind of cartoonish, dramatic way that's a little bit ridiculous. But essentially, the next time that you feel pressure when you're out in your regular life, you fucking remember these exercises. You see what you've been through, and you see what you can do. Now, the last part of it, to finalize the transformative work that we've done here today, is to teach you how to just draw state from within yourself. Make yourself laugh, make yourself feel happy, and not worry about a goddamn thing. What I want to do is remove the power from people who are trying to influence you or trying to get at you, or from external forces, really. Because I don't think anybody does it so much on purpose, but it just kind of pans out like that sometimes. You know, I don't believe in these conspiracies of a man twisting his mustache behind the scenes. But what I do believe is that the system kind of just works the way it works. Oftentimes works for the benefit of the system. And I've never been trying to change a whole system or anything like that. All that I've ever tried to do is reach out to people for whom the system didn't quite work and want to look at things in a different way, okay? For me, I tried to work within the system and be the perfect chode and get the perfect khakis and dress the perfect way and say the perfect things. And I was unhappy, I was in lower consciousness, I certainly couldn't meet girls, I certainly couldn't reach my professional goals or even just my personal goals of feeling how I want to feel or living an authentic life. So the last piece of this, for me at least, the way that I like to think about it, is the ability to just entertain your damn self. And that doesn't mean that you can't go to a movie or go buy a nice shirt, or go to a nice restaurant, or enjoy consumer culture. There's lots of beautiful things out there that I'm sure we'd all love to enjoy. But at the same time, you can do that from a framework of just enjoying it on the periphery of your life rather than that being your whole fucking life. And